surprising news in my opinion. So, based on reports, Bojan Bogdanovic has been traded to the Detroit Pistons for Kelly Olynyk and Saben Lee. And that makes zero sense to me. Now, Utah, their asking price for Bojan Bogdanovic was a first round pick. They ended up getting 0 picks. And on top of getting 0 picks, they did another 1-for-2 player swap. This doesn't make sense. Like, either this report is inaccurate or this just doesn't make sense to me. You're telling me Utah couldn't get anything better for Bojan Bogdanovic than Kelly Olynyk and Saben Lee? It doesn't make sense to me. That is very strange that the Utah Jazz and, Danny Ainge would do a trade like that. Especially when he still has to cut players. Now he has to cut, 3 players instead of 2? And it's not adding up to me. So either there's a third team involved, or there's, something's going on here. There has to be more to this than what is reported. Now, again, it's just reportedly that this happened. We haven't gotten the official submission of the trade based on what I've seen. But regardless, this is just really strange. You could have gotten more than that from the Lakers. The Lakers would have probably at least given you a first-round pick. Yeah, you would have had to give up Jordan Clarkson, but you got literally nothing for Bojan Bogdanovic. The Suns probably would have given you a second, and you could have taken Jay Crowder and something other and then waived those guys, because if you're going to waive Olynyk, unless the Jazz have another deal lined up for Olynyk, and something isn't adding up here for me for the Utah Jazz side. And it's not even the Lakers side. Like I said, look, based on all the reports, right, and people love to comment, well, the Lakers aren't the only team, all these other teams. Who are the other teams? Okay, what other teams were lining up to give the Jazz their asking price? Yes, they just traded him to the Detroit Pistons based on what this report says, but they didn't get anywhere close to their asking price. That's been my whole point. That's what all the reports have been saying, that no one wants to give them what they're looking for these guys. But you're telling me they couldn't have gotten more for Bojan Bogdanovic from another team? You're telling me the Phoenix Suns weren't willing to give up even a second or 2 seconds or something like that and move off of Jay Crowder? I just don't believe that. What? You had the Suns and all these teams that were interested in the Utah Jazz, and you're telling me Kelly Olynyk and Saben Lee were the best deal that was on the table? That was the best package that was on the table that makes you go backwards and gives you no picks? I don't see the logic in this deal at all. Remove the Laker factor. Take out the Lakers. You're telling me that there was no other team that were willing to give you a better trade than this? I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. And, look, Kelly Olynyk, he's a solid veteran rotation guy, right? But for Bojan Bogdanovic? Really? And especially for a team especially a team like the Jazz, who are rebuilding. They already have a bunch of bigs. Does this mean that the Lakers are getting Vanderbilt if a trade was that? But now, look, I think that this means either one of two things from the Lakers' perspective, and I'll dive into it in a second. But, what is the plan here? Are they trading a Vanderbilt? Are they flipping Olynyk? Maybe they have another deal lined up for Olynyk? Or maybe this just isn't a trade. That could be it too, that this is just a report that came out that isn't accurate. We've seen that happen before. The whole Olynyk and Saben Lee, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. Maybe there's something in the works. From a Detroit side, Detroit is interesting to me. Because one, they could probably really use Bojan Bogdanovic. And I think Detroit is a really good, young, fun team. I really do. I think that they have a lot of potential. And they just moved off of Kelly Olynyk and Saban Lee to go get a guy like Bogdanovic, who at worst case becomes a great trade chip for you, right? You could probably get more for Bogdanovic than what they got for Bogdanovic. So if you're Detroit, this trade makes all the sense in the world. If you're Detroit, you basically got Bojan Bogdanovic for a bag of chips. And on top of that, not only did you get him for a bag of chips, but you got a real valuable veteran piece that you could use and actually really help you try to make the playoffs or something like that. Or you can use him to trade to another team or use him as a trade chip or whatever. There's a lot of options there. Maybe you take on a Jay Crowder and Dario Saric and a couple seconds for that, for Bojan Bogdanovic to the Phoenix Suns or something along those. That makes good sense to me. From the Detroit perspective, the other sort of thing for the Detroit and then the Lakers side, which is something else that I want to get into, is with the Jazz deal, right? I think that this pretty much kills the Jazz deal, right? I mean, the Lakers don't need Bojan Bogdanovic to get the deal done, but unless Utah is giving up Vanderbilt, it doesn't make any sense. Because then what? Lakers are trading for Clarkson, Conley, and Beasley? No, the Lakers aren't going to do that. Would they trade for Clarkson, Beasley, and Vanderbilt? Possibly. I think that this, again, a deal could be worked out, but I don't think Clarkson, Beasley, and Vanderbilt, as great as Beasley and Vanderbilt and how nice of pickups and acquisitions as they would be, I don't know if that's good for the Lakers. You know what I mean? Because Bojan helped you more now and was that veteran leader, that veteran presence, that veteran wing. I think that he really, really helps the Lakers, where I don't think any of these other things help the Lakers. So I think if this report is legit and this thing actually goes through and this actually happened, then I don't see the Lakers and Jazz deal. I don't see a combination where that happens unless there's a 3-team trade or something happens, or there's more to this deal than we already know, which it doesn't make sense to me that the Utah Jazz are only able to get Saban Lee and Kelly Olynyk, especially when they wanted a first-round pick for Bojan Bogdanovic. I think that other teams would have been willing to give up more. And you took on 2 players and gave out one again, and you still have to unload guys. It's just something doesn't add up here. Something just isn't making sense here. It's just not. But, maybe that's just me. But you tell me why this makes sense. You tell me where this adds up. Where this is something that's oh yeah, that I see that completely. Are they gonna get something? Is somebody gonna give up a first for Kelly Olynyk? Is somebody gonna give up a first for Saban Lee? I mean, I don't know. I just don't see that. I think you would get more in draft capital for Bojan Bogdanovic. Now, I understand the whole problem is finding guys that you can just waive and expire or that are expiring and stuff like that. But now if you waive Olynyk and you waive Saban, you got nothing. You didn't get any picks unless there's more to this that just hasn't been reported yet. If we find out once it becomes official that they got a first and a second round pick, okay, that made sense. Cool. But if it's just these players swapped, which is what it looks like, that makes zero sense to me. And that means the Utah and Lakers deal, I think, is just completely dead. So that takes one piece off the board if you're the Lakers. And maybe it adds one. If you're the Lakers, do you hit up Detroit? There were talks about Detroit wanting to make a trade. Maybe that's why they did this. The problem is that unless the Lakers are included in the deal, then they can't trade Bojan and other pieces. So then that makes it very, very, very difficult, if not impossible, for the Lakers to acquire Bojan Bogdanovic. So the Lakers would either have to be added to the deal, and it would be a 3-team deal where, say the Lakers get Bojan Bogdanovic, Kemba Walker, and, insert your other guy, Nerlens Noel and Alec Burke. Something like that, right? So those 4 guys. Let's say they get those 4 guys, and then the Lakers send Russell Westbrook to the Detroit Pistons, and they send them like a first, right? Because maybe Detroit would be more willing to take on that first and not want as much, because they're good enough to be competitive, but they're still riding their young players, right? And so maybe that could end up happening. So unless it's a 3-team deal, I don't see the Lakers getting Bojan Bogdanovic, but it could be something where, the Jazz get Olynyk, and they get Olynyk and they get Saben Lee. Westbrook goes to the Detroit Pistons, and then Detroit sends Bojan, like I said, Alec Burke, so that way the Lakers get their wing player. You get Nerlens Noel as like another backup rotation big, and then, Kemba Walker, something like that. So you get those 4 guys, and then the Lakers could just like waive Kemba, waive Noel if they want to, or if they need to, or kind of work it out, So basically you'd be getting back like 4 players, which that I wouldn't be completely against, because you'd get Bojan and you'd get Alec Burke if that could happen. But do Detroit want those wing guys? It's just, I don't know. My guess would be that nothing happens, that this is just the deal, and I don't understand that. And I know somebody in the comment section, or multiple people in the comment section, are going to be like, see, Lakers should have been. This is a stupid deal, and you cannot tell me that this was a better deal than what the Lakers offered. Like, you cannot tell me that this was worth Danny Ainge spurning the Lakers and doing it. Like, this was just idiocracy. Like, there's no way you could tell me Kelly Olynyk and Saben Lee was a better deal, was the best deal they could have gotten, and they really stuck it to the Lakers, and Danny Ainge made it. That was stupid. Like, if he would have traded him to the Suns for, like, Jay Crowder and Dario Saric, because clearly they were willing to get 2 players and, a second or 2 seconds, I'd be like, okay, like, look, you're right. They stuck it to the Lakers. Lakers should have. That's not what this is. This was stupid. Like, you cannot tell me that this was not, like, just goofy. Like, come on. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think about this? Are you shocked? Are you not? Do you think the Lakers deal is dead? Do you think the Lakers kind of come in as a 3rd team? What do you think ends up happening? However you feel about it, love to hear your thoughts and opinions down. Quick little shameless plug, everyone. If you enjoy my videos and commentary here on this channel, As It Stands Lakers, then check out the link down in the description below and go subscribe to As It Stands. Believe it or not, As It Stands was the first channel. If it wasn't for that channel, this channel would never have existed. Because of the success of that channel, it led me to want to create this Lakers channel. So do me a huge solid. If you're not subscribed over there, go check that out. Go subscribe over there. I talk all things sports, all teams, things like that, not just the Lakers. So if you just enjoy my commentary and want to hear me talk about other things, or you just, are a fan of other sports and other teams, go check that out. I promise you will not be disappointed. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.